and their personal life just spilling over. And it is part of football in the NFL draft because in a suspension that reminds you of those old suspensions that Virginia Tech would do back in the day where the guy would get suspended for like the first quarter of the game, not the whole game because he's too good for that, but we'll suspend him for the first quarter of the game. Or my favorite, when the coach would coach or the player would play the first game of the year against a marquee opponent, but the second game of the year when they're playing, with all due respect, your North Carolina A&T or your Alabama A&M, that's when the suspension would be held for a particular player or coach for a knucklehead decision. We got to have standards, but we also can't compromise losing and winning football games, and that is such a crucial and important thing. So that is the reality of that. By the way, best joke of all day with the Mike Vrabel, Diana Russini, the spouses for Vrabel and Russini should get their all-expenses-paid trip to the adult resort in Arizona where Vrabel and Russini were first spotted, or at least it was first exposed, of the many photos that have since come out, including at bars in New York, at casinos across the country. It has just gone wild. And remember, if you're about to do that type of stuff, it may be fun in the moment. It may last for a while. But remember, the four most famous words, 5 if you want to fully spell the contraction out, this won't end well. It may sound good for a while, but it's not going to end well over the course of time when you really need it. So that's what you're looking at when you are working through those things. Meanwhile, Evan is still mercifully trying to figure out how to solve the phone and is getting a crash course of how to get somebody on the air when you're also trying to get the stream up and going. And at some point, we'll get that going because it does not go smoothly on the first day. And we've mentioned that before, but for those wondering where the stream is, we wanted to update you on that. Also, NFL draft. What do we really know about the NFL draft, which is being held tonight? One of those things that we need to figure out is, I think we all know this. Fernando Mendoza is going to go first to the Las Vegas Raiders. So we're aware of that. Second of all, we are in the betting market is reacting this way, and the major NFL analysts and prognosticators are all projecting that David Bailey out of Texas Tech, formerly from Go ACC, the Stanford Cardinal, that he'll be the second pick of the NFL draft. Then after that, it's a free-for-all. Does somebody trade up with the Cardinals at number 3? Do they sit tight and take Arvell Reese? Do they go with Jeremiah Love? Is it there are leaks out that that's what their management wants to do? Does Love start to fall? What do the Titans do at number 4? What about the Giants at number 5? They also hold the 10th pick in the draft after swinging that trade for your guy, Dexter Lawrence, who is now with your Cincinnati Bengals, to our own TJ, or our own Devin. Meanwhile, beyond that, go ahead and just get the stream on the air first. Get the stream figured out, and if you need to call Trey to work your way through it, call Trey to work your way through it and tell him what's going on. We don't text, we call through problems, even if it's annoying and uncomfortable, because we're working through this stuff on the fly to get it figured out. So that's what we know, though, about the NFL draft. That's what we're aware of. We're not aware of a whole lot else. And a lot of it is this. The most gifted football players in the draft are the football players who are at the not-so-marquee positions. I don't care if you're on the phone with Trey figuring it out while we're talking on the air. Get the problem solved, even if that's what it takes. So that's the marquee position dynamic that we're trying to figure out if you're in the NFL, is you've got nobody at really a premium position, which is can't miss. The offensive line is a premium position, but your top guys either have reported injuries like CeCe Mauanoa, Francisco Mauanoa of Miami. They're good, but maybe not great. Spencer Fano out of Utah. And then the other guys that are the most athletically gifted have either limited reps, limited upside, or something else. Caden Proctor, Monroe Freeling, the others. So there's a lot of projections going on at premium positions. Similarly, honestly, on the defensive line, the defensive tackle class has been strong in certain years. This is not one of them. There may not be one that goes at all in the first round of the draft this year. So we may not even have one of those. So that's one element to this. Then you add on to that the fact that, again, David Bailey, great pass rusher, but there are questions about his run defense. Arvell Reese is a fantastic athlete, but has more been moved around than anything else. By the way, you might need a video tray in so that you can show him via video what's going on, in addition to the phone call. So if you need to make that transition over, I know we're really high end radio here, trying to troubleshoot this stuff on the fly while I talk to Evan, and maybe get with Lake Lewis, maybe not. What could possibly go wrong here in the fast lane? It's been a week, by the way, with issues at home. My wife's at the conference. It's just been an absolute hectic thing. Even the early morning, by the way, total detour. Um, Total detour, by the way, for me that you'll find is that my wife's out at a conference. So I've been dealing with kids and I love my kids to death, but
Time to take a detour in the fast lane.
the link is the thing is, by the way, Trey's texting me. I'm talking on the air. I can't talk and troubleshoot while reading his text. Like it's getting cumbersome. So that's why he's talking with Evan. Anyway, if he's trying to listen and figure it out, I'm horrible at multitasking.